Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm gonna have a little change of pace with the following couple of videos. Um, kind of been following a little bit of pop culture nonsense for the last couple days, so I figured I'd do some videos about this stuff. And also, I saw a movie called um, Promising Young Woman, which was oh, what can I say about it? Now, this isn't supposed to be a review of the movie per se, but I will be mentioning the movie and kind of giving my opinion about it. And let's just so first of all, this movie is a film about this like 30-ish woman that is still living at home, and she is traumatized by her best friend's suicide after a rape that happened to her best friend, and she is working at a coffee shop, which, to be quite honest, if I were paid well enough, that'd probably be my dream job of all time, other than working at a bookstore. But the um, purpose of it, she lives at home with her parents, and she goes out and teaches lessons to men that try to use a term bluntly, pull her while drunk. Now, usually it's a situation that's pretty dubious, that they show these men in, and they're quite honestly pretty, other than some of their outward, not their outward, some of the way that they're portrayed is very beta-ish. I'll just put it that way. I mean, it's like it's implied that these guys are kind of, I don't know if I'd call them like incels. They're not incels, obviously, but they're kind of like dorky, really awkward guys, that are night, or it's just kind of, it's full of these feminist like cliches about modern men in a certain way. Like this guy, one of the guys that like tries to like stick his finger up her skirt or whatever when she's really like almost passed out, which is pretty fucking unacceptable. Okay, I mean it is unacceptable, completely unacceptable, not pretty. It's fucking completely unacceptable, of course. Um, he's like, well, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. He like says it 20 times or some shit, and like, it's a little cringy how like they're hammering that on in your face as far as these messages. Now that said, the movie is has some good parts and some bad parts. I think it's worth watching. Um, I said there's like some cringy parts like that. It turns into this weird rom com in the middle with the guy, and I'm not going to give away too much, but uh, some of the messages I thought were kind of wrongly put. I think there's a gray area and nuance in drunken um, sex that really isn't explored in this movie. It's like either you're completely sober. It's just like she's portrayed as she's completely sober, or acting, wasted and falling down drunk, which obviously is not acceptable as far as consent goes. But a lot of people have sex while they're drunk. They have that walk of shame. Nobody feels violated. Like the men, are having sex with drunk. I've had sex while drunk with ex-girlfriends who were also drunk. Were we raping each other? No, I don't think so. But there's obviously a line, that is crossed. And it's crossed in this movie as far as being portrayed, and with her friend too, who's passed out basically when she was violated, and it's pretty fucked up. So they don't show it, but the movie's sort of a dark comedy. I think Mike from Red Letter Media compared it to like having a Heather's esque. Like I don't think that's really it, but as far as the humor goes. So overall, I enjoyed it. The ending is great. I thought the last half hour definitely was worth watching. Um, there was a portrayal of a certain character in there that I thought was really creepy. I guess the antagonist of the whole movie. I'm not going to give too much away, but I understand the message. Like I said, I think that it lacks, some of it lacks nuance. It's too, you know, dare I say, Tumblr feminism 101, like way too browbeating and fucking like too just too in your face, you know. And that's one thing that bothered me about the movie. And then also, I just thought, like, what is this trying to say? What are you trying to contribute? You know, it's like everybody's complicit in this crime, and you know, it's like nobody's a good person except, and is this woman really a good person being this kind of vigilante, even though she, I mean, it's implied that there's some blood at some one point. So I don't know what they're trying to say. It's kind of muddled in the middle, and it got better towards the end. Like the ending is awesome. I thought if the ending was, if that level of depth and characterization and acting was sustained throughout the movie, it'd be a pretty great movie. Overall, I'd give it maybe a C plus or B minus as far as a film, you know, grading it from a just a regular film perspective. Now, there's some controversy though, because there's this Variety review that just got dredged up from the actress. Dare I say the word actress? I know that people are supposed to say actor, but the actress Carey Mulligan, and she actually came out kind of decrying this review from Variety magazine because it said some sort of things about her looks, I guess. I'm going to read actually the exact quote, because now this guy is being, I don't know if he's being canceled, but he's definitely being raked over the coals. So let's see. I'm going to read the entire thing that's controversial, or the entire paragraph, which is not being covered in some of these articles. They don't give the entire context of this. Mulligan, a fine actress, seems a bit of an odd choice in this, as this admittedly many-layered parent female fatale. Margot Robbie is a producer here, and one can perhaps too easily imagine that the role might have been once intended for her. Whereas with the star Cassie, that's what her name is. I thought it was, yeah, I knew it was Cassie. As far as the, what's her name? Yeah, Carey. Okay, Carey, Cassie. Yeah, kind of confused me. Whereas whereas her pickup bait gear, like bad drag, even her blonde hair seems put on. That's pretty. That's kind of funny. The flat American accent she delivers in her lowest voice register likewise seems a bit meta, though it's not quite clear what the quote marks around this performance signify. Still, like everything here, this turn is skillful. See, this is what they leave up, this part. Still, like everything here, this turn is skillful, entertaining, and challenging, even when this eccentric method obscures the precise message. Promising young woman is often as the most inspired when contradicting itself. One of the grimmest scenes here, accompanied by some utterly incongruous from the king and I, and the frisson between image and song, is so flummoxing is rather brilliant. Okay, so yeah, I think there's something to be said about that criticism of how she looks in the movie. I don't. I think it's a little bit confusing the way that paragraph's worded. It's not very. It doesn't flow very nicely off. You know, how the fuck do they hire these reviewers? But pretty pretentious kind of bullshit you read from a reviewer overall, anytime. But I think both sides in this argument are kind of overreacting. I think, for one, the guy that wrote the review is kind of like, well, basically what they said is, oh, we shouldn't, yeah, or what did he say? He's like, she's not, I mean, people were saying that she's not hot enough to be in the role. Now, I'll say this, because you go to a bar, you're not going to see some A-list actress trying to be picked up on. That's just not a reality. The one that is probably, I mean, a lot of the time, I mean, I've dated women that have been promiscuous, as I've talked about in a previous video, and they've said they've been promiscuous. And it's not like they're all gonna look like fucking like Margot Robbie or 1999 Kirsten, or 2002 Kirsten Dunst or something. They're not going to all have that like level or that rating score of attractiveness. I'm sorry. You go to a bar, people are getting picked up, and you know it's different levels of people doing that. Plus, a lot of the guys that are picking up her character aren't really that studly to begin with. There was one part that did bother me is the dude with the fedora, because she wasn't. See, a lot of the scenes she just has a frown on her face, or she's like passed, like literally passed out. But it was a little more. That's a little more of the nuance that I think is missing, because she was kind of. I guess she was stumbling, but it's like I don't know. I had a little problem with that, because it's like I've seen people hook up, you know, in that maybe not quite that shape, but like, and they, it's just a little, there's a little gray area there that you know is miss. Like I said, there's gray area missing in this film. This film is slightly misandrous. I'm just gonna say it's slightly misandrous. I'm just gonna say that straight out. I'm not opposed to it. I think it's a fine, and there's some skill with the film's making, but I still think that there's some problems I had with some of the scenes and just the way that they're framed. And I think it's stupid to think that all guys. It's just like it makes it seem like all guys out there or who are hooking up with drunk chicks are just like totally sober and totally like they're to blame for everything because they're just totally sober and just like conniving to do this. It's just like it makes it a little bit too black and white, polarized. So overall, you know, the reaction to this review, it's stupid to it's stupid what he said. Like if he was implying that she was too like homely or ugly to play this role, that's kind of stupid, right? But at the same time, like raking him over the coals is stupid too. But the movie is worth watching just for discussion alone. You know, there's probably going to be a lot of arguments and debates over it. But I wish the movie was on the level of its final act, because that was really riveting as far as the final act of the film. You know, I think they play this like nice guys aren't really nice guys. It's just like a fucking Jezebel fucking article, or you know, Tumblr fucking rant or something brought to screen. Like it's kind of stupid, but or what was that other feministing? That was right. That's right. That feministing blog from back in the day is like, nice guys aren't really nice guys. I mean, I'm a douchebag. I'll admit it. I'm not a nice guy, right? Done. You know, just admit it. I'm a douchebag. I'm a douchebag, pervert, fucking weirdo piece of shit. Not a piece of shit, but you know, someone might call me that. I'm just saying. So I'm just going to admit it right out. I'm going to come from the evil side and surprise you with my niceness instead of saying I'm a nice guy. Oh, yeah, you were drunk. I took advantage of you. It's fucked up. You know, this whole discussion is way more complicated and complex and you know nuanced than some fucking you know red pill forum would want to have, and what some feminist forum would want to have. We should have discussions about these things. But overall, Promising Young Woman is a promising film from a promising filmmaker, I guess. And I enjoyed it, but I think it was a little bit overbearing, and I think we need to not cancel anybody for having a different opinion. That's all.